Is a single member LLC different than a multi-member LLC? My name is Andrew Ayers. I'm an estate planning and business law attorney with offices in Edina, Minnesota and New York City. Today we're looking at some LLCs and we're going to look at the difference between a single person LLC and a multi-member LLC. So we're going to look at 6 different areas for the LLC and compare the difference between a single versus a multi-member. And what you're probably going to see is there aren't as many differences as you may think there would be. The first area we're going to look at is the ownership. So obviously the difference in ownership would be, first of all, the number of owners. So a single member LLC has one owner, a multi-member LLC has more than one owner. But there's no difference in requirements. So you can have other companies, you can have individuals, you can have US citizens, you can have non-US citizens. The membership requirements for ownership are the same. The only difference is how many people are acting as owners of the LLC when you look at a single versus a multi-member LLC. Second area we're going to look at is the management of the LLC. So if you only have a single member LLC, that single member is probably the person who's going to be managing the LLC as well. When we look at the multi-member LLC, however, we have a couple of different options. So for example, if we have 4 different members of the LLC, we can choose between one of the 4 being the manager of the LLC, or the 4 members can actually reach out and hire somebody else who's not a member of the LLC to be the manager. So unlike the single person LLC, the multi-member LLC can have a different component to it when we're looking at how it's going to be managed. Third area we're going to look at is your personal asset protection. The good news here is an LLC is an LLC is an LLC. Whether there's a single member or there's multi-members, the LLC can be used to protect your personal assets, and it's commonly done for that purpose when you're creating a business. Fourth area we can look at, the tax treatment we're going to get of the 2 LLCs. So a single member LLC is going to be treated as a sole proprietorship by default by the IRS. A multi-member LLC by default is going to be treated as a partnership. So the question for you is going to be, what's the best treatment of the LLC for tax purposes? Many clients who run a single member LLC will actually opt for the S-Corp election, which is a tax election for their LLC. Now, in some cases, a multi-member LLC can also opt for an S-Corp election. However, I'm not here to go through all the different accounting principles. That's where you need to make sure you reach out to your accountant and get the best advice you can as far as what should be the tax treatment of the LLC so you can maximize your financial gains from your LLC. Fifth area we're going to look at is the formation of the LLC. And once again, it's going to be the same whether it's single member or multi-member. We're going to start by choosing a name. If you have multiple members, you just have more cooks in the kitchen trying to pick out the name. You get a registered agent, which is usually going to be the address of the LLC. If you have a multi-member LLC, you have more addresses to choose from. Next, you're going to file with the state and you're going to get an EIN, a tax ID number from the IRS. Then you're going to move on to open a bank account. Now, when you have a single member LLC, they can just go to the bank and open the account. When you have a multi-member LLC, the bank will often require corporate resolutions and the various members of the LLC to sign off on the opening of the bank account. And they will probably want a resolution that says which of the members, if not all of them, are allowed to have access to the funds in the bank account. Next, we're going to get any licenses or permits we need to have for the LLC. And then finally, we're going to create an operating agreement. Now, the operating agreement is where I come in as a lawyer, and a lot of my clients wonder, is it a lot more complex to do a multi-member operating agreement versus a single member? And in reality, they're not that much different. However, where we see the difference is in membership interests and restrictions on membership interests. And I've talked before in other videos about if you have other co-owners, you want to make sure you're protecting your interest and your ownership. So that, for example, if one of your co-owners goes through a divorce, we can have a membership restriction that soon-to-be ex-spouse cannot be awarded an interest in the business as part of the divorce, because you don't want that disgruntled ex-spouse as part of your business. And the final area to look at, number 6, is compliance. Both of them will probably have annual filings or other filings that are due with the state, whether it's a single member or a multi-member. So what you want to do is make sure you understand your LLC requirements, but if it's a single versus multi-member, those filings don't change much. The multi-member may have some extra information because you need to provide more information from the various members, but generally it's going to be the same filings. So going through these 6 different steps when we're looking at an LLC, it hopefully helps you decide whether you should be a single member or a multi-member. And if you have that multi-member LLC, are we going to do a member-managed or a manager-managed LLC? There can be other issues like tax that we want to make sure we work through. So the two ways you could try to do this: first, you could try to do this yourself. It's definitely doable, but when you get to the multi-member LLC and we have lots of things, lots of issues we may want to consider, it's best to work with professionals. So option number two, work with professionals. Talk to your accountant, talk to your financial advisor, talk to your attorney to make sure when you're setting up that LLC, you're getting the right setup, especially when it comes to ownership of a multi-member LLC. If you're ready to get started, you can go to my website, andrewmayers.com. There's a red legal strategy session button on the front page. You'll be taken to my calendar and we can set up a legal strategy session. It's a 15 or 20 minute phone call where we can go through where you are in the process, kind of what questions you have, and give you some next steps and options for moving forward. There aren't as many differences between a single member LLC and a multi-member LLC as you may think, but it's important that you understand what differences there are.